Greetings, friends in the Force, and welcome back to the channel. An interesting thing is on the horizon for the near future of Star Wars. It seems at the moment that a certain background character is starting to get quite a bit of focus in recent releases. The character in question is Jedi Master Yaddle, which many of you know is the only female of Yoda's species that we have seen thus far. Yaddle has been brought into the limelight 3 times in recent Star Wars canon. We first see her in a vision Vader has in the Vader comic series of 2017. Then, all is silent for a few more years until Jedi Fallen Order, when pilot Grease name drops Yaddle during a cutscene, mentioning that he wishes that one day he could meet her. And finally, we know for certain that Yaddle will have a more spotlighted role in the Dooku episode of the upcoming Tales of the Jedi. All of this leading towards a very interesting, but not very well known character is very exciting. But it starts bringing up questions, such as what exactly happened to Jedi Master Yaddle? Yaddle began as a Jedi Knight who was captured and imprisoned on the planet of Koba in around 300 BBY by a tyrannical warlord named Tulik. He placed Yaddle in a chamber underground, where he attempted to break her and exploit her young naivety for information. However, Yaddle remained stubborn and never gave in. Giving up, Tulik left her imprisoned underground, and eventually left the planet altogether, soon forgetting about the young Jedi. Yaddle stayed in solitary confinement in her underground prison for over 100 years, with her only source of food and provisions were Tulik's wardens, who sent down baskets of fruits and vegetables for a time. However, when supplies on Koba ran low, the wardens became so preoccupied with their own survival that they slowly forgot about the Jedi. As a famine had come to the world, Yaddle's existence became the stuff of legend, with the natives of Koba referring to her as the One Below. Although a few Kobans continued to send food down the shaft as a sort of ritual, Yaddle relied on the Force for her survival. During her many decades of isolation, Yaddle reflected upon the lessons in her studies, and soon she embraced and eventually achieved unity with the Force itself. When escape came, she forgave the Kobans for everything, knowing that they were simply under the iron rule of Tulik. She even stayed on Koba for a time to help rebuild the planet, showing that she had become the perfect Jedi. Because of her staunch unity with the light side, Yaddle was a master at several high-level light side abilities such as Force Light, Machiro, as well as Terminus. Upon her eventual return to Coruscant, she was granted the rank of Master and offered a seat on the Jedi High Council. We see Yaddle on screen only once when she is in the High Council room in The Phantom Menace. But what exactly happened to this famed Jedi Master? Where does her end meet in Legends as compared to Star Wars canon? In Legends continuity, Yaddle's death came in accordance with how she lived, a selfless sacrifice. Yaddle was sent to Mawan along with Obi-Wan Kenobi and the young Anakin Skywalker, who at the time was still a Jedi Padawan. Their mission was to try and restore peace to the lawless planet. However, Yaddle sacrificed her life for those of the people of Mawan by using the Force to absorb a bioweapon, which ultimately killed her instantly. But because she did this, she saved the people and the city that the Jedi were attempting to protect, and peace was restored to the planet at last. This all transpired shortly before the events of the Clone Wars, and this is all fine and good. But what exactly happened to Yaddle in Star Wars canon? Officially, as of now, there is no canon fate for the female of Yoda's species. Somewhat of a mystery, Yaddle had stepped down from the Jedi High Council sometime before the Clone Wars broke out, with many speculating, myself included, that Yaddle could sense the coming war. Out of all of the Jedi, even Grandmaster Yoda, it was stated that Yaddle was the most in tune with the light side of the Force because of her ability to forgive and move on. She may not have been the most naturally powerful of all of the Jedi, but she was certainly most in line with the light side and what it meant to be a Jedi Master. Therefore, it is believed that her insight and foresight was far better than any Jedi, again, even including Grandmaster Yoda, that she may have even sensed the coming war, deciding to step down from the Jedi High Council. Ultimately, Yaddle's spot on the council was filled by Jedi Master Shaak Ti. After this, Yaddle just sort of disappears. There is zero record of Yaddle participating in the Clone Wars in any way, and she is not mentioned or seen during the events of Order 66. No sign of Yaddle whatsoever. With her fate unknown, the last time we hear of her was when Grease mentions that he had heard legends of Yaddle in Jedi Fallen Order. Grease obviously knows that there is only a very slim chance that Yaddle is still alive, but decides to hope that she is anyway. I find this incredibly intriguing, as it is curious that the rumors of such a specific Jedi Master would circulate and find themselves to someone like like Grease, especially this far into the reign of the Galactic Empire. We know that Lucasfilm as of recently has been taking some influences from Jedi Fallen Order by giving many hints to it. In The Mandalorian, we see the BD unit. In Obi-Wan Kenobi, they went to Fortress Inquisitorius, where we see Obi-Wan enter the fortress through the water break, as well as the viewport and the flooded hallway. Both of these things Cal did in Jedi Fallen Order. With all of this said, recently in the Tales of the Jedi trailer, we also get a hugely important appearance of Jedi Master Yaddle as she battles Jedi Dooku. Upon looking very closely, this doesn't actually appear to be some sort of sparring session, but it appears as if Yaddle was actually catching on to the fact that Dooku had embraced the dark side of the Force and was attempting to leave the Jedi Order. We know in canon as well as legends that Dooku had a fascination with holocrons, specifically though Sith holocrons hidden deep within the archives, and I believe, of everyone, it would be Yaddle that would be the most likely to discover Dooku. Because of her pure connection to the light side, she likely sensed that something was wrong with Master Dooku, and pursued him. This leads into the theory that to keep his secrets secrets, Dooku did the unthinkable, and killed one of the most noble Jedi in all of existence. In Star Wars Legends, it is the death of Jedi Master Sifo Dyas that cements Dooku's turn and full embrace of the dark side of the Force. However, he did not personally kill Master Sifo Dyas, only giving the order indirectly. However, I believe the death of Yaddle will mark Dooku's full turn and embrace of the darkness. As similar to the birth of Anakin Skywalker, Darth Sidious needs him to prove, or maybe perhaps Dooku needs to prove to himself, that he is capable of such an evil deed and atrocity. But anyway, my friends, what are your thoughts on the tale of Jedi Master Yaddle, as told in Star Wars Legends and now Star Wars Canon? Do you believe that the pure-hearted Jedi Master will meet her end at the hands of Dooku? And what are your thoughts on the death of Yaddle in Legends continuity, living a selfless life and dying in a selfless act? As always, my friends, thank you so much for watching and continuing to support the channel. May the Force be with you, and have a great day.